Was shot in Spartanburg County.
The sheriff's office tells 7 News this happened early this morning on Prince Street. They say the man was taken to the hospital, but we don't have an update on his condition. Deputies believe that this is some kind of isolated event. There's no danger to the public, they say, and there's no word at this point on suspects. The shooting itself remains under investigation.
Good evening. That developing story in Greenville County, the sheriff's office there says 2 deputies were shot in a training exercise.
This is the moment ambulances carried the deputies headed to Greenville Memorial Hospital, followed by patrol cars. And the sheriff's office says those 2 deputies are expected to recover. They are okay.
It happened about 2 o'clock this afternoon, a building of the 2000 block of Wade Hampton. And 7 News' Laura Miller is at Greenville Memorial, where the 2 deputies were taken.
Well, both those deputies were rushed here earlier this afternoon to Prisma Health Greenville Memorial Hospital. We're working to understand how severe both of those deputies' conditions are. However, according to the Greenville County Sheriff's Office, both are expected to be okay. One is undergoing surgery. Ambulances raced to the ER, trailed closely by law enforcement vehicles. A chaotic moment after what was supposed to be a routine drill. Around 2 p.m., something went wrong during a training exercise inside this vacant building at 2000 Wade Hampton Boulevard, near the Pine Knoll Drive intersection. According to the Greenville County Sheriff's Office, 2 deputies were struck by a round during the exercise, but exactly what kind of round and how it was fired is still under investigation. For hours afterwards, sheriffs remained parked outside the hospital, and the Sheriff's Office says a full internal investigation is now underway. We'll continue to update this story as we learn more. In Greenville, Lauren Miller, 7 News.
Now, we did reach out to SLED to ask if the agency was investigating the incident. A representative said SLED is not involved at this time.
At 10, the Anderson County Coroner's Office is investigating a deadly dog attack. July 21st, Anderson County 911 got a call about a woman attacked by a dog at her home on Orr Hill Road. Coroner's office says 67-year-old Mary Ann Orr was taken to the hospital. She died from those injuries today. An investigation found the victim's dogs were fighting. She was trying to break it up, and one of the dogs turned on her. Anderson County Sheriff and Coroner's office are still investigating.
All right, Malachi, thanks. Today in Columbia, South Carolina families asking for policy changes after their 12-year-old son died from exposure to a rare amoeba earlier this month. 7 News State House reporter Caroline Jaffa tells you what they want everyone to know.
Earlier this month, a 12-year-old boy died after exposure to a rare amoeba here at Lake Murray. Now his family is speaking out, demanding answers and warning others.
Had he known the risk, had we known the risk of him swimming in that lake, nobody would have ever chosen to get in.
Jason Carr passed away from Naegleria fowleri, also known as a brain-eating amoeba. His family says it entered his nose while he was swimming in the lake with friends the weekend of July 4th.
A child should not have to lose their life for doing something they assumed was safe. They should not have to double check to see if they are going to live or die from being a boy.
His family asked that the state start testing the freshwater lakes like they do the beaches and launch an investigation of their own.
There's never any testing of the water. There's no questioning of where Jason was swimming and playing in the water to figure out where this happened. That's the whole purpose of an independent investigation, because we're doing the work that the agency should have done.
Dominion Energy, who owns the lake, says they are saddened by the loss and sent us this statement that says in part, according to public health agencies, naturally occurring microorganisms are present in freshwater lakes and rivers, as well as other unchlorinated water sources, but these types of tragedies are rare. A nurse practitioner I spoke with says this is something to be aware of, but says testing the water won't change the fact that it's there.
They're going to be there. You're going to test it and they're going to be there. That's it. I mean, like, it's something that is known to live in the freshwater.
Giles said after swimming in lakes, if you develop flu-like symptoms or a headache, seek medical attention.
In Columbia, Caroline Jaffa, 7 News.
The Department of Public Health told us that they will not be launching an investigation of their own into the child's death, and the Department of Environmental Services says it is not aware of any states that have routine testing for this amoeba. We're following a developing story now. A spokesperson at Pickens County Schools says several student athletes are now facing criminal charges following that situation of a 7-on-7 FCA football camp that was held at Presbyterian College.
Yeah, an attorney for one student says he was savagely beaten by his teammates inside a dorm room. 7 News' Taylor Farmer has been closely following the story for days now and is joining us live with new developments. Hey, Taylor.
Hey, well, everyone's asking what charges the Daniel High School football players are facing and who exactly is involved in this case. But because the students involved are teenagers, those details will not be released. Family Court protects the identities and records of juveniles.
I think the purpose behind keeping juvenile records private is that a lot of people do things as juveniles that they wouldn't do as an adult. And so if those mistakes can follow you for the rest of your life, it can have a huge impact.
The school district of Pickens County tells us the Daniel High School student athletes involved in the incident at a football camp held at Presbyterian College are between the ages of 16 and 17 years old. Former juvenile prosecutor Brandy Hinton says depending on their level of involvement, each student in that dorm room could be facing different charges, ranging from minor offenses for simply being present and not reporting it, to more serious charges like assault and battery by mob or even lynching. The 8th Circuit Solicitor's Office handling the investigation would not disclose any information to us. However, Hinton says it's highly unlikely these students will be tried as adults and equally unlikely they'll face any prison time.
Yeah, typically when you're going to see a waiver process of a juvenile coming into adult court, you're talking about a charge as serious as murder.
Instead, Hinton says the teens could face consequences such as community service, probation, or even undergo mental health treatment. She says the requirements will vary by individual and will be determined by family court.
So the court can keep you under their jurisdiction up until you're 21. After that, their jurisdiction expires. So even though you're technically an adult under the system before that, the family court has jurisdiction over you until you're 21 from a punishment standpoint.
Hinton says punishment typically lasts a couple of years, though it's possible it's not likely that these 16 and 17-year-old boys will be punished until they turn 21. Live in Pickens County, Taylor Farmer, 7 News.
And the Pickens County School District will also decide whether the student athletes will be suspended, removed from the team, or expelled. That investigation and disciplinary action are separate from the criminal investigation and actually fall under the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, meaning that information will not be released either.
Escaped from the Union County Jail are back behind bars tonight. The sheriff said he never knew they were gone. The sheriff's office doesn't actually run that detention center. It's under the control of the Union County supervisor. The supervisor says the inmates escaped Monday night and says he learned about it this morning. Sheriff Jeff Bailey says he didn't know about the escape till the inmates were captured in Georgia. And he was asked by the Georgia State Patrol to verify the inmates had escaped from the Union County Jail. Sheriff Jeff Bailey issued this statement reading in part, quote, "We remain committed to public safety and will fully cooperate in any investigation that may take place." Union County Supervisor is Philip G. Russell II. He says, quote, "The incident is currently under investigation and no other details are available at this time." 7 News has reported on multiple escapes from that jail over the years. And one of the more recent ones involved an inmate who was accused of having what the jail director called a hit list.